Alright guys, welcome back. So this is going to be a real quick video on using alcohol at India ink. I use 91% rubbing alcohol, and I use 3 teaspoons of India ink to make the dark wash, and that's what I'm going to use on the sidewalks here, or the I guess you can say it's a foundation pad for the kit. So after this dries, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush it with some other gray paint. So right now what you see here is primer gray, and now I'm going to put the dark wash on there. It looks dark as you put it on, but it actually will dry lighter. And what's nice about the alcohol India ink is that it will get into all the little cracks and crevices and create that shadow. And then after I dry brush it, I'm going to go in there with a powder to just do some highlights. What's nice about using this is it's really simple to use and creates a nice weathering effect. So once this dries, and it will dry probably within the hour, maybe even before that, I'm going to come back and I'm going to dry brush, and then I'm going to highlight it with the powders. And these concrete pads are going to be done, or these foundations. You don't have to put a lot of work into them. And on top of that, I'm going to be doing some more detail work on the buildings. I'll show you really quick. I started to put the actual concrete color on, so it is coming together. So I have to put another coat on. So while this is drying, I'm going to work on the sidewalks. When the sidewalks are drying, I'm going to work on the building. So I'm using my drying times right now because I got 1 week to get this project done for Springfield, and I got exactly 1 week to get it done. So time is ticking away. So I'm going to come back and I'll show you some dry brushing. So I'll be back in a little bit. Alrighty, so the India ink, alcohol India ink, is dry, and this is what it looks like. Alright, so what I noticed though, the way it dried, I'm going to smooth it all out a little bit. So I'm going to use this, it's kind of like a Scotch-Brite pad. And this is lightly going to just hit the top. I don't want to take all the material off, but enough just to smooth it out a little bit. Because after this I'm going to dry brush, then add powders, then add scenery. So what I'm basically trying to do is just show the layers in concrete. Finally, this piece here. There you go. Alright, so we're going to pause the video. I'm going to get the paint ready, and I'll be right back. Alright, so for the paint, I'm using a dark gray. And I'm just dry brushing it. Just add another layer of color. All right, so I'm going to do a light coat of charcoal too. Just add a little bit more color to it. Let's do a little bit. Use the same brush. I'm not even going to clean it. So this is what it looks like so far. So I will go over this again with another gray. I'll probably go over it with a light gray or even a white. And once I put the diorama together in the vehicles, I'm actually going to put oil stains on this as well. So it's really going to look like very worn concrete, and once I add the grass growing through the cracks, it's going to look even better. Alright, so let me get the white paint going and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've switched to a larger brush. Again, I'm just going to dry brush. Try to get some more paint off. Okay. I mean, that's all I'm doing. You can barely see it, but when you look close along the edges, you can see it. Okay. Next thing we'll be doing is powders, but I won't do the powders until the pieces are actually glued on the diorama. So for now, we're going to transition over to this piece here. And get a small brush. Same white. One of the gas pumps will be white. Alright, I'm going to change brushes again because I don't like how that's coming out. So again, let's see if I can focus the camera. There we go. And that's how you do a gas pump. So I'll do this one red. When we come back, I'll paint the stone pad here. All right, so we'll be back in a little bit. All right, everybody. So I finished the foundation and the concrete pieces above the window on both buildings. The gas pumps are done as well. And the gas pumps, put a little rust on top. I use weathering powders. The only thing I'm going to do now is put the weathering powders along the bottom of the pumps, just to etch the shadows. I still have to weather this piece. What I also did in this building here, the garage, is I painted the interior walls, and I weathered them up, so it looks like a pretty cool looking wall with just a 4-foot green border in the bottom. And then I'm going to put some signs up in the wall as well. So it's definitely coming along. Put the roof on it. That's what the building looks like so far. And that one. So it's coming along. It's getting ready to do the diorama this weekend. So thanks for watching, and I'll come back with another installment of the update or the video, and you'll see some more progress. Alright, see you at the next video. Alright guys, welcome back. So the next phase of this is the actual diorama, and what I did was I glued the foundation pieces already to the diorama so they don't move. What I'm using for glue is weld bond glue. I put the weld bond glue under the pieces, set them in, and then just applied weights. So the next thing what I'm going to do is take this blue painter's tape, just tape around these edges, start painting this a tan color, like an earth color, and then start putting my ground cover in. So I gotta keep it moving with this project. So I'll see you in a little bit, and I'll show you what it's gonna look like after it's taped and started to paint. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright guys, so now the area is taped off so I can paint. And basically what I'm gonna do is just put the paint on like that. Now I don't really care what color it is per se, as long as it's an earth tone. And the paint is really only going to act as a glue for my ground cover. So this paint's got clumps in it. Get rid of those. And after, once it's dry, I'll add a little bit more ground cover. And then what I'm going to do is add alcohol, then matte medium. So it's glued from the bottom and the top. So the paint is basically acting as a glue for this, for the ground cover. Okay, so now we put your ground cover on. I'm using the, let's see if you can see it on the screen there, Scenic Express, the fine soil. This stuff is great. It'll last a long time as well. So just take a spoon, and just tap the spoon. This is what I'm doing here. Obviously with this diorama I'm going to get a little bit of waste going off the side, but normally that's not the case when you're doing a regular scene on your layout. Stuff goes a long way. And I'm still using the first scoop here. I've had this stuff for about 3 years now. Been doing dioramas and little pieces of my layout, so but I think I'm going to get more with the Big E this year. They do make a medium, which I'll show you in a little bit. And working my way around. Alright, that's pretty much it. I'm going to let this dry, and most likely I'm going to let it dry overnight. It all depends, see how fast this stuff can dry, and then I'll come back in with more material with my alcohol and matte medium.
Look at.
All right, so the initial ground cover is in, and what I'm doing is I'm putting down 91% rubbing alcohol, and what it does is it allows your glue to penetrate the ground cover a little bit better, so it cuts the surface tension down. Otherwise, your glue would actually sit right on top of the ground cover, and it'll take longer to soak in. So this really sends the glue all the way down to the base. So after I get done putting the this alcohol on, and then I'll put the glue in. So I'll be right back. Okay, now you can see the ground cover is completely saturated with alcohol. Now I'm going to come in here with my matte medium and start applying it. It's okay if it sits on top like that. It will dry and lock down all the ground cover nicely. So if you're wondering what kind of matte medium I use the Scenic Express. Sorry, it's right in the camera there. Already prepared matte medium. All right. It's about $6 a bottle, but it works very well. So I'm going to continue on putting the glue in, and then when we come back I'll show you some more of the building stuff, because I really can't do much more with this diorama tonight. So, but tomorrow I can definitely add more ground cover, which I intend to do, and going to be adding grass tufts as well, and working on sign. So again, this has got to be done for Springfield, so my time is definitely running out on this project, so hopefully I can get it done in time, which I should be able to. All right, see you in a little while. All right, everybody, welcome back. So the ground cover is the first layer of ground cover is all set. It's all dry. Right now I'm just adding another layer of color to the concrete, just to add a little bit more depth to it. And I'm going to put I'll probably dry brush it once more after I set the buildings. But the excuse me, the buildings are done. And I'll show them to you in just a second, because I'm going to get ready to glue them down. So here's the main building. Put some signs on it. There's a regular the actual garage. I put some signs on the walls as well. So it's coming along. So I will be back shortly, and I'll show you after I glue down the buildings. All right. See you in a little bit. All right, so the buildings are glued down now. Get some weights on them to hold them overnight. I used the weld bond. I'm sure it's going to work fine. And as you can tell, the surrounded area, I built up the more ground cover. And I also did a technique. I sanded this area down a little bit. So I'll go over that tomorrow once the stuff dries. Now I'm just going to get ready for my glue. I have to glue the gas station island down. That's pretty much it. So it's coming along. I still have to build the sign. I'm going to build a sign for the front, right in front of the garage, or the gas pumps rather. So again, this build is coming along. I still have to do a little bit more detail. Tomorrow's it. It's the only day I have left to finish this up. So it's crunch time now. So all right, I will give you another update tomorrow. And I'm not sure what part of the build series video this will be in, but you'll see it on YouTube before I actually go to Springfield. All right, thanks for watching. All right, welcome back. So it's Thursday night. I got about, I don't know, 5 hours left in this build, and I'm out of time. So making a lot of progress. I put the sign up. It's a scratch built sign for the building. And ground cover's done. Just gonna put the roofs on. Add a little bit more ground cover. I'm gonna put some grass tufts and some weeds growing up to the cracks of the cement. And I got to paint these cars. These are castings that I have. So figured if the building was a casting, I could put some car castings on it as well. So they don't come with the kit, but it's good for detail purposes. So we'll see you at the next video installment. Alright, welcome back. So this is going to be the last video installment of the build for Jimmy D's garage. And just to show you that the roofs are on, they're glued. I added flock and turf weeds growing through the cracks and around the building. The cars are in place, all painted. I used 2 different colors of flock and turf. And you can see a lighter and a darker variation. I added all the weeds growing through the cracks over here, and I added a few barrels with some boards sticking up. The car is sitting inside the garage. And again, all the way around the building I did the same type of detail work. Alright, so if you're interested in this this kit, it is going to be available at Springfield. So come on down to see Railroad Kits in the Better Living Center. So I hope to see everybody there. And thanks for watching this build.